Quilters, today's show is all about creating last-minute projects before the holidays.
So stay tuned for plenty of cheerful inspiration.
Hi, I'm Pam Heller, AccuQuilts cutting expert.
And I'm Erica Botker, AccuQuilts creativity expert.
Welcome to today's trunk show called Wrap Up Your Holiday Projects. Today we're sharing some festive projects you can make before the holiday season comes to an end.
That's right, and we'll be joined by go-getters Terry Vandenbosch, Denise Looney, Susie Webster, Stephanie Jacobson, and Emily Norquist. I am excited to see what all they have in store for us.
Apparently there are things under our table that
Apparently there are.
not kick.
There are other things in store for us too.
I'm super excited. We have plenty more in store as well. We have great prizes, quick and easy project ideas, and fun ways to add even more personality to your projects.
That's right. So let's meet our first go-getter, Terry, and see what last-minute holiday project she's got for us. Now, Terry is a designer, quilt maker, and long-arm quilter whose creative journey started in the 5th grade with the creation of, get this, Pam.
Okay, every time I say this, I think
and
what is happening?
A pair of pajamas that she was allowed to make from antique feed sacks from her great-grandmother.
I don't know how that
happens. My
happens.
wildest dreams. Now, decades later, the sewing machine is still her best friend, assisting in the pursuit of new techniques while perfecting the old.
In her spare time, Terry works with her husband on their farm in Iowa. When she isn't helping him, planning the next motorcycle adventure, or spoiling their grandchildren, she's in her quilting studio working on customers' quilts or designing the next best pattern. She's designed so many amazing patterns.
So many great patterns.
Welcome to the show, Terry.
Hello,
Hi,
Terry.
Merry Christmas.
Merry
How are you?
Yeah, I'm doing great. Great.
You're inside warm and safe, right?
That's exactly right.
Wonderful. All right, so what holiday project do you have that our quilters can make in a flash?
Well, I chose the oven mitt. I had never made one, and let me tell you, this is so quick. From start to finish, 45 minutes tops.
Yeah.
Yeah, and what inspired me is I like to, let's say, preserve stories.
Okay.
I'm kind of a storyteller. I like to preserve stories. My mom makes the best strawberry jam. It's kind of like a freezer jam, and my grandkids love it. They won't have their Sunday morning bagels without Sunshine Grandma's strawberry jam on them.
I love this.
That's fabulous.
I wanted to preserve her handwriting and her memory so that, you know, generations later they can still find it.
Okay, I'm loving everything about this so far.
Everything. So how did you make this?
So I started by emailing my mom and telling her I wanted her at her recipe. I didn't give her any reasons. I just wanted her handwritten recipe.
Okay.
And my mom is not as creative as me. It just came on a scrap piece of paper. It wasn't, you know, a nice little recipe card, but hey, that's cool. Then you take that handwritten recipe, you scan it into your computer using, you know, a scanner or, you know, however you get it in your computer. I put it on, right, I copied it 3 times, you know, in a word processing program. And then you run it through your printer on this products. I use EQ printables.
Yes, I have seen those.
Cool.
Yes. This is cotton lawn. It's the finest. It's like a 240 thread count, so it's really fine. So then the reason I like that one is your fine details show up. You know, like your handwritten.
Sure.
Those show up really, really nice on the that. And then you just go through or you run it through your printer. It has like a shiny on one side and fabric on the other, and you put your fabric, you know, because you want the
face down.
Put your fabric down,
right,
according to your printer, and then it prints it. It prints it on the fabric for you. It is so cool. And then I just cut it out, you know, the little bit.
Yeah.
Used a decorative stitch, went around it, and added it to the oven mitt. before before you assemble it.
Right.
Okay,
Yeah.
that is just brilliant.
It is genius.
I mean, I just think what a great gift for kids and grandkids.
Well, and it's strawberry fabric, right?
Yes.
Yes. Yeah, and the inside is blossoms, strawberry blossoms.
Excellent. And it has the stripe binding, so extra points there.
Now you did
Yeah.
something on the back too, right?
Yes. This is another way to personalize gifts and preserve family memories. My dad had Parkinson's for many years, and one of his medications would make him see like dragonflies.
Wow.
And as soon as he seen the dragonflies, then he knew he could start walking. And so the dragonfly is kind of a special memory to our family. So that's off the little critters die.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
And if it makes no other memory for somebody else, it's important to your family. So
Right.
that's what you're supposed to be putting on your projects for your family.
Sure.
Yeah.
I
I'm
love it.
hoping to make a bunch. I have some leftover fabrics. I'm hoping to make some more with my mom this winter so that she can give them to to the rest of our family.
Sure.
This
Oh,
one's
that's so sweet.
Okay, Terry, that's so sweet. Okay, and then because everyone is going to ask, would you just take a picture of Grandma's Sunshine Strawberry Jam and email it to Erica? We'll put it in a blog.
That's right. That's
I'll do
right.
that.
Can already
I'll do
ask.
that.
We're all going to want to see it, so
Oh,
we'll
what
add it
a
in.
great idea. What a great idea.
Yeah.
I love it.
This kind of came about because, like I said, I'm real strong about preserving memories. What I do with my family, if we're going to take, like a special vacation, I make up a quilt beforehand, and then we journal on that quilt right
Shut the
during
front
the
door.
vacation.
Terry.
And then when we get home, I'll put, I'll applique on the photos from the vacation.
Okay.
That's where this
for
thought
the
all
win.
came from.
For the
Terry for the win. Absolutely.
Okay, I love that because it's a simple quilt.
Yes.
It's already made. People can write down
Write down-
messages and memories and then add photos. What a
While
great
it's
idea.
happening, though, while it's happening.
Yeah. I love
Yes, we do it. We do it every night. We'll journal on our quilt.
So do you do that with your grandkids as well?
That's what this
That's
one
what
behind
that-
me is going to be. It's a Christmas quilt. For many years, I've said, and
Look at
this one
this.
is one of my patterns. And I've always said, oh, this will make a great journal quilt, and I've never done it.
Yes.
All of these squares I have quilted like in back and forth lines.
Right.
So they can
and
write
then-
on them.
Exactly. So this year, when I had my little scare with breast cancer, I decided this is the year that we're going to start our Christmas tradition with the grandkids and my family. We're going to journal our Christmas memories each year on this quilt,
Okay.
and then take a group photo and put it on every year.
All right. Now, what's your grandma name?
What do your grandkids
It's called- sometimes I'm called farm grandma because I live on the farm and their other grandma lives in town, so I'm farm grandma.
Because Erica is Grammy and I am Lola.
Right.
But
Okay, yeah.
so I love this whole idea of a memory quilt for
Yes.
Christmas.
Yes.
And so where can our quilters find all of these amazing projects? Do you have a
Yep,
website, Terry?
Yep, I'm called Lizard Creek Quilting.
Okay, and I have always wanted to know
We've
why are you Lizard Creek?
When we lived on a farm that we didn't own, and there was a creek that ran through the farm that we farmed. It was called Lizard Creek. I mean, that is the literal, correct name for it.
Love it.
We purchased a piece of property to build our house on, and Lizard Creek actually runs through that property too. So, yeah, that's
was
why. Lizard
serendipitous.
Creek
Yep.
runs through our property.
It's serendipitous.
Well, thank you so much for sharing that.
It's so
Yes.
fabulous. So fabulous.
Yes.
All right, have a
Love
Merry
it.
Christmas with all of those
You too.
grandkids.
Merry
You
Christmas.
bet.
Hi,
Merry
thanks,
Christmas.
Terry. Okay, we should all just go home right now and make
Yes.
memory quilts that
Yes.
everybody can sign and
Journal
just keep
quilts.
journal quilts.
Journal quilts.
I'm a big journaler. I've never
Yes.
thought about doing that.
I hadn't either.
All right, well, you can find Terry and all of her magical things at Lizard Creek Quilting, and
Yes.
she's fabulous.
She is. She is.
All right.
All right, Terry's project. I love that.
Yes,
How special was
Grandma's
that?
Sunshine.
Grandma's Sunshine Strawberry Jam. I
love it.
I love it. So we'll get the recipe from her.
We
So
will.
I can't imagine how happy everybody's going to be. And I think they're really going to be surprised, to have that oven mitt with Grandma's recipe and with the dragonfly on the back. So
I agree.
let's talk oven mitts for a minute, shall
and
we?
This makes me think. So in my family, I am famous for chocolate chip cookies.
Yes.
That is like my thing.
Yes.
So I think I should find some chocolate chip cookie
Yes.
fabric, right? Because you can
Yes.
find it all now, and do that still. I still have time. It's only Tuesday.
Right.
There are
Right.
fabric stores open today.
There are this very day, and the weather's going to be awful the rest of the week.
Yeah.
So what have you got to do anyway, except
Yeah.
to come here and do a show tomorrow?
Okay. Yeah, I just have to do that. All right, let's show the die.
Okay, so here's the oven mitt die. This is such a great project die, and it cuts your fabric and your batting and your lining, and it has the magical notch. So Pam is showing the blade.
Yeah, and then see, look.
It cuts the little notch so that your thumb will move.
So you have opposable thumbs.
Yes.
Right?
Yes, in fact.
Right? Okay.
Okay,
And
so
we have a couple of tips.
Yes, we do. So the first is, okay, so here's
here, yeah,
the Santa mitt. So this is a great free pattern. You could totally get this made up in no time for everybody too.
It's only Tuesday.
It's only Tuesday.
You could take it for Christmas.
I mean, if you haven't done anything for the neighbors yet, you could make these and stick the cookies inside of them. There's so many options for what you could do.
Somebody I know puts them over wine bottles,
That would be fun.
right?
That would be fun.
Okay. But let's give you a tip on how to put these together.
That's right.
So first of all, when you cut it, you want to use Insabright.
Yes.
This is Insabright. Oh, sorry, Justin.
So this is special.
Sorry,
this is
Justin.
specially designed to reflect the heat so that you don't get burned.
Yeah.
And yes, we do sell it on the website.
Yeah, we sell it on the website. So you can cut one layer of Insabright
And
and one layer of fabric. And then once you cut them, then you want to stitch your fabric first.
Right.
So quilt it first,
Quilt it, then cut it.
then cut it, right? And then you're going to have that little pattern there.
That's right.
And somebody showed me this clever little trick.
Yeah, this was really super clever.
About how to add the binding, because you and I like to bind them so that you don't have that raw edge. And so what they did is they came right here and just did a little 1/4-inch seam. Right? And then they added the binding and they went from one side, from the back, brought it to the front, stitched. And then when you sew the thing together,
Yes,
it will have the binding, and then this can be the loop.
that's the loop. Very
I
clever.
thought that was very clever.
Very clever. And one of our quilters came up with that.
Yeah, from the Celtic
We
Quilter.
didn't.
Thanks. We did not. Sometimes we learn so much. From
We
our
learned so much from our quilters like you. So the other thing that made this project special, I thought, was the
yes.
dragonfly applique. And again, you're going to want to put that on your fabric before you put it together. Now, if you're not familiar with our Go Critters die, it's such a cute die. It's got the dragonfly, a bumblebee, or as I like to think of it when my grandson is involved, a busy bee.
Yes.
And a small butterfly.
Yes.
These are so fun.
It comes with free embroidery downloads, but we also have some for purchase embroideries
Yes.
on our website that make them amazing things, okay?
Yes.
So we have pre-fused our cotton fabric.
Right.
And you want to pre-fuse it before you cut it. You don't have to cut all the shapes, so let's get a 6x. Oh, Erica!
Look, it's the jingle bells.
Hold please while I find a mat.
Quick, keep them away from Brock.
I know.
Okay.
It's okay, so we can just put our 6x6 mat on
Yes.
it. This will fit through all of our cutters, including the Go Me.
Absolutely.
We're going to use our Go Big today because Santa loves us.
Okay, so this is why you can get this done in no time. We could be cutting 4 dragonflies at once.
Yeah.
4.
And it's going to cut
took
them perfectly.
no
Oh,
time.
here, I have a string.
Perfect. You have a thread.
I do
Hold,
have
please.
a thread. Hold, please. Hey, get you some Karen K. Buckley scissors. They're on our website.
Oh, they're fabulous. They're the
Put them
best.
in your stocking.
This is the best. I was going to say, get them for yourself and put them in your own stocking. Isn't that perfect? No way you could cut that
No way.
in 30 seconds by yourself and
Yeah.
it wouldn't turn out nearly as perfect. I love it.
And what a sweet memory
Yes.
that Terry had.
Yes, absolutely.
All right.
All right.
Those
so
are
I'm
our
just gonna put
applique
this
shapes.
little
I know. We're
idea
going to
over
move some
here.
stuff around.
Absolutely.
All right, so now we met Terry Vandenbosch. Let's meet our next go-getter, Denise, and see what last-minute holiday projects she has. Now, Denise lives in a small southern Illinois town with her husband, Steve. She made, listen to this, her first hand-pieced quilt at the age of 17.
Wow.
But she didn't discover quilting until Steve taught her how to use a sewing machine in 1995. I
Okay.
think everything about that story is
I
fun.
love that story. I love that story. You know, I have a friend who her husband finishes her hand binding because she doesn't know how to hand
I
sew.
need to teach Ray how to do that.
Denise is now self-taught, and since that first quilt, her skills have evolved over the years. Denise now makes everything from quilted applique jackets and handbags to paper piece quilting designs. Denise's goal is to continue growing in the industry and becoming more proficient in her long arm quilting. Thank you so much for joining us today, Miss
Hi,
Denise.
Denise.
There she
Hi,
is.
ladies.
Hello.
How are
You look so beautiful.
Oh, thank you.
Okay, so first of all, we love the quilt behind you. How cute is that?
That wreath is adorable.
I know, and it
Acne
has
quilt.
there's
I
a
used,
dye for that.
Dyes for the wreath
Yes.
and
The
the
cardinal.
flowers and the vines.
I
from the
recognize
stems,
those.
leaves. And the cardinals were paper pieced.
There you go.
Oh my gosh, that's gorgeous.
All right, Denise, what
Thank
quick
you.
and easy project do you have for quilters that they can make before the holidays end?
Well, I'm working on stockings, lots of stockings.
Oh.
And to make it quick, you can use a craft fuse, which is a heavyweight fusible.
Okay.
And then you don't have to add batting unless you just want to.
Oh,
Use
that's a good idea.
angel dye.
That's a good tip.
Oh, look, a stocking
The
on the
mini
stocking.
stocking.
Yes.
The
Oh,
deer
the
head
deer
with the
head.
V-stitch
That's-
embroidery.
Yes.
That's
Oh,
very
that's
clever.
perfect on this. It fits perfectly.
Oh, I like the snowflakes.
Snowflakes.
Look
Oh.
at the gnome.
I did not make a gingerbread gnome. I made a sugar cookie gnome.
Oh, that is so
Oh
clever.
And
my
I
gosh.
believe that's a V-stitch design
is,
also.
Yes, it is.
And then for my grandsons, I embellished them a little more and put their
Look at how
names.
cute those
cute.
are.
And perfectly cut snowflakes with your dies.
Yes.
Exactly. And if you don't have an embroidery machine, you can use.
I feel like she has a stack of stockings like this big.
Yes.
You can use the Ultra Hold,
Oh,
Okay.
yes.
or my new favorite is Hot Fix adhesive.
Okay.
They're both a permanent bond,
Okay.
Oh, okay.
and then all you have to do is stitch your stockings together, and you're done.
Oh, that's wonderful.
All right. Any tips for people when they're making their stockings besides the interfacing
Yeah.
that you showed us, which was a great idea?
Well, the interfacing and the Hot Fix adhesive.
Yep.
If you know, sewing with children, especially, I mean, it wouldn't take you long
Oh gosh, no.
to stitch around your stocking and then hand it over to the children.
That's
and
a great idea.
they can fuse their shape
Oh
to
yeah.
the stocking.
Oh, that's a
That's
great
a
idea.
great idea.
It hangs well and it's nice and stiff.
Yeah.
I like the interfacing idea. That's
yeah, I
great.
do too.
Denise, do you have a website that our quilters can follow you on?
I do, fortheloveofgeese.com.
Excellent. Okay,
I
and
love
why
it.
did you name For the Love of Geese? We're asking all the questions. You just
Because
love geese?
I love flying geese.
There's a die for that, by the way.
There is.
There is.
That's
Yes.
wonderful.
There is indeed. Oh, thank you so much for coming on the show.
Thanks
I
for
know
having
that
me.
okay. I've made some stockings already this year, and you certainly have plenty of time to make more. So
Yeah.
thank you so much.
Yes.
You can make 2 of these stockings with the embroidery around the shapes and in about an hour and a half.
See,
There
That
you go.
includes the stitching.
Perfect.
You can't get faster than that.
no,
Nope.
not at all. Thank you so much,
Thanks
Denise.
so
Merry
much.
Christmas.
Merry
you.
Christmas.
Okay, such clever ideas for stockings.
Yes.
And again, I think she had probably a stack of them like this.
I feel like she
But
did.
2 in an hour is great because you can
That
just sit
is.
and chain piece and sew those
Yeah,
together.
yeah.
And I love the idea of kids doing the applique.
It makes stockings so easy. Okay, let's show off the die.
Oh, we have a die for that.
We do have a die for that. That's what makes it really so fast and easy, is that we've got the die for that. And I love that the body of the stocking is separate from the cuff.
Yes.
So you can have that be a contrasting fabric, or you can use different. So when I made stockings last year, I used kind of a cuddle fabric. So they were kind of furry, like my little Santa hat on the top for the cuff.
Yes.
And then I made ones for the dogs this year because I found dog fabric.
She did. It was all about the fabric and what
It's
should I do
all
with
about
it?
the fabric. And I did cotton because then I embroidered the dogs' names on their stockings.
As
Riley's
they
so impressed.
Yeah, it's so amazing. And we have several videos on YouTube and
Yes.
Facebook on how to cut and sew stockings with lining, if you want to line them, to add the loop. I mean, they were just such fun, great projects.
And we have several free patterns that you can download as well.
Yeah.
But here are a couple of my new favorites. These use the penguin die.
Oh, Jennifer Strauss from the Dizzy Quilter made these.
Look at these.
Jen, you did a great job with these.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm a huge fan of the penguin die, and she did them out of wool.
She did them out of wool, yes. You know, a lot of people don't know this, but our dies cut wool beautifully.
Yes. Yes.
So well. And the little snowflake here, which is absolutely perfect to put on stockings, that comes off of our Go Mitten die, the little mitten die.
The little mitten, and then look, the little hats come off this holiday medleys.
Holiday accessories, and then I think the bow tie is off of our cookie decorations die.
She used all of those. So, quilters, that's one of the great things about all of these accessory kinds of dies. You can use them with the penguins and the gnomes.
Oh
and
yeah, you can put a bow tie on a flamingo if you take an ocean too.
One of our favorites.
You know,
and
we have formal wear too.
We have several free patterns for different ways to put stockings together. And again, they're really easy to make. And let's look at the applique die that she used.
So
I think
she first used the angel die.
Yes.
And we don't talk about this one as much, but here is a sample of the free embroidery with the blanket stitch die for this one.
And it's hard
right
to see
here.
her wings.
It is hard to see the wings, but.
Look at how sweet that is.
And so you could use, I mean, this is, here you can kind of see the
There,
wings
you can
better.
kind of see the wings.
They kind of go like this.
Yeah.
So this is a great example. That would be so sweet. I mean, my daughter, Erin, collects angels, so I should totally make something for her with this die.
And we also have some for purchase embroideries.
Yes, and there's
from
a
our good
great
friends at
one
V-Stitch.
from V-Stitch that's coming up. I think we may have a graphic on it, or we may not, but there are some great embroideries with that one as well. Now, she also used the sleigh and snowflakes die. That's another really great die. So we're going to take a look at that and show you an example of some of the different materials that you can cut. So I snuck some wool in there.
I was going to say, I did this differently.
I snuck some wool in there. Miss Pam had craft. I thought we cut the reindeer.
We'll cut the reindeer out of wool. And we just have one layer.
You have to go this way for him to fit.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, and then we have some, excuse me, this is actually sticky back felt.
How fun is that?
Right? So you could use it on cards, you could use it on whatever you'd like. Yeah, let's do that corner one.
You want to do the, oh, it's not big enough for that.
I want to do the sleigh and
You want to do it, I thought you were going to do a pink snowflake.
No, I want to do a pink sleigh. Okay, so look at all these different things. So we have wool and felt and craft foam, and it's all about the sparkle because it's the holidays. And I'm going to do it like this because I have the Go Big, and it will fit.
And it will fit?
It's on a 10 by 10 die board, so that die is going to fit through our Go and our Go Big.
That's right.
Make sure you have that 10 by 10 die, or mat, sorry.
Mat, yes. And you may want to cut that craft foam down so that
I was just thinking that as it was going through the...
more perfectly, but you know what? You can't get a more perfect sleigh than that. That is adorable. Okay.
That is super cute.
That is super cute in pink sparkles.
Okay, all right, let's give it a little love. It is so staticky. It's a balmy 4 degrees in Nebraska today.
Yes.
Oh, look at how cute
Look
your
how
reindeer
cute the
turned out.
reindeer is. And this is fun wool because it actually has a little sparkle in it. I don't know if that's from something else.
I think it's from
or...
the pink.
And then where's our snowflake? Oh, look at this.
Because the only people who should cut snowflakes with scissors are kindergartners.
And look at that snowflake.
Look at that.
No way could you cut this perfect snowflake
we'll pull
by
it
hand.
down.
We'll pull it down here so you can see
Look
it
at
better.
that.
Isn't that amazing?
Okay,
How fast is that?
We have so many dies that have snowflakes. We have this one. We have holiday accessories.
Yes.
We have the snowflake die that cut big 7.
Yes, and then we have a
snowflakes.
6x6 die that cuts just one snowflake. I mean, we have so many snowflake options. And don't forget that little tiny one on
The mitten.
the mitten die. And the sticky back felt would be great for that.
Yeah, for stockings. Also, they come with free embroidery designs.
Yes, that's
Who
right.
knew?
So don't forget, we've got those free downloadable. We do have the Go Angel single embroidery design. That one's by V-Stitch. This is what it looks like.
Oh, there she is.
There she is. Yeah, I knew we had it someplace. Now we also have the Go Sleigh Reindeer and Snowflake embroidery set. That's a download by Marjorie
yes.
Busby. This is really fun, and it uses that sleigh and snowflakes and does some really
Yes.
fun embellishing with it.
Look at the sleigh full of packages.
Yes, as well it should be.
It should. All right. Now, we've talked about some of our applique dies that are perfect for holiday gifts. We want to know, quilters, what Go die or dies are you using right now to make your last minute project?
That's right. So tell us about your last minute projects and the most useful dies wherever you stream our show in the comments.
We'll read them in a little bit.
Yeah, we will. So one of mine has been, I'm going to show off mine.
This is so cute.
So she talked about making a sugar cookie gnome.
Yes.
It's the Go gingerbread gnome embroidery. But she did it in like a cream color so that it was a sugar cookie.
And then the white was red for the piping.
For the piping, for the frosting. See, it has its own little gingerbread cookie.
These are from our good friends at V-Stitch.
And I then put it on a onesie. You can see I put it on a onesie for my little grandson Brooks.
And it will fit him for a hot minute because his belly is full of jelly.
Is indeed, just like Santa.
Yeah, and grunge. Thank you for
And
using
grunge, yes.
grunge for me.
So he's definitely a gingerbread cookie.
Look at that. Isn't that cute?
Now,
But you could put them on stockings and
you
all
could.
sorts of things.
Here's a couple of other things you can do with the gnome.
See, look at how cute these would be on stockings, Mr. and Mrs. Claus.
This is part of my last minute.
Are you
creating.
doing? I would think I'm as I look at them, I think they would be fun for tea towels.
They would be excellent on tea towels. I
Mm-hmm.
wish I had thought of that. Maybe I'm going to be doing that now. I was going to do a pillow with them
Oh, there you go.
to go in the chair in my kitchen because I'm
And then you
all
can
in like
embroider just
red.
the night before Christmas.
There you go.
In
And
our
I might
spare
get
time.
it done before the night
It's
before
only
Christmas.
Tuesday. I'm gonna
Only
go
Tuesday.
get chocolate chip fabric.
Yes.
Okay.
All right.
All right, let's hear what our next go-getter, Susie, came up with for fun last-minute holiday projects. Susie has been a quilter since the age of 8, and she arranged some scrap triangles and told her mom, you should sew it like this. I love it.
I do too.
She's been designing quilts from a young age and enjoys being creative.
One of the things Susie loves about quilting is the possibilities are endless, and she enjoys sharing her love of quilting with her students. She has been entering competitions since college and has won many national quilt show ribbons to her credit, including 4 for Best Machine Quilting. Now, Susie's been an Island Batik ambassador since 2016. She loves applique, machine quilting, and paper piecing. So without further ado, let's see Susie's idea.
Hi, I'm Susie Webster of Webster Quilt, and I want to show you a couple of things that I've been working on this holiday season. We just got 8 inches of snow over the night, and so it seemed appropriate to me to make a snowman mug rug. So I had a lot of fun digging through my scrap bin looking for little things that would be good for scarves and hats and mittens. And I used my favorite dies. I used the Go Holiday Accessory dies, which has the nose and the ball and the hat pieces and gloves, and it's got arms and scarves as well. And then I used my different 2, 3, and 5-inch circle dies to do the snowman themselves. And then I decided that I wanted it to be a quick and easy project. So instead of doing blanket stitch all the way around, I simply stitched about 1/8 of an inch around the inside of every piece. And then I went back and I added eyes and a mouth with a Sharpie. And then I put on a binding. And I am going to give this to our secretary at school who has coffee every day. And she seems to be collecting my mug rug. She's got the one that has that AccuQuilt shamrock die. Now she's going to have a snowman for the winter. And while I was at it, I had some more fun with the snowman. I used the AccuQuilt Go stocking to make this stocking. I used the same background fabric and again found more fun scraps in my scrap bin. But this time on my stocking, I decided to add in a little bit of rickrack between the two pieces. So as I was sewing, I had this piece down and I layered the rickrack on top of it. And then I put this cuff piece on top of that so that when I sewed the seam, the rickrack was in there. And I like the little extra flair it adds to my stocking. And then I was able to use that same rickrack as a hanger right on the inside of my seam so that I can hang up my stocking. So I hope this gives you some inspiration of what you can do with your circle and holiday accessory dies and give some fun gifts this Christmas.
Okay, Susie, so cute.
So cute.
And you stole her idea of the rickrack.
I did. I used rickrack on Riley Dog's stocking, on my dog's stocking.
Quilters, to keep up with Susie's project, check out her website, websterquilt.com.
I would have used it on my grandpuppies, but it didn't go with her fabric selection.
Oh, there you go.
So I am so happy that she used the Go Circles and the Go Holiday Accessory die for her project, because I think a lot of times people have questions on how those two work together. So here are the two dies.
Right. So here you can build snowman, you can make mug rugs, you can do all sorts of things.
Right, right.
No one should ever cut circles by hand. Listen,
right,
that's
because
silly.
they're so perfect and they're so quick and easy.
Right. And then talk about the holiday accessories.
So these holiday accessories are so fun because these little shapes, and again, they would take so long to cut, but they are going to work with the circle die, they're going to work with the square die, but they can also work with other dies. I mean, you could use, put a top hat on your gnome, or
a penguin.
Or a penguin, or again, a flamingo.
Yes.
Right? We've got mittens that anybody can wear, carrot noses. These are the tops, make the tops for little ornaments. I mean, really fun things to do.
Yeah.
The bow can go on a square and be a package.
Right.
Fun ideas.
Okay, but first we're going to show you because we want to build a snowman.
We do.
So again, we're using craft foam. This is such a great idea for the holiday. If you're getting ready for Christmas dinner and you have little people,
yes,
you could cut out a whole bunch of these and let people build snowman for a while.
Good.
Oh, here, we'll wait because we're using our Go Big. It can actually cut two.
I'm trying to think what was, I was doing that. What was I doing?
I don't know what you're doing. Probably an orange.
Oh, an orange nose. Let's cut a hat, I guess.
Okay.
What was this?
I don't know, mitten?
Mitten? Was this a scarf? No?
No.
Oh, good.
All right.
That works.
Here we go. All right. So we're using our Go Big. We can cut two of our smaller dies in one pass through the cutter.
Here we go.
So if one die is 90% faster, two is exponentially faster.
There you go, and it's math we're not going to do. It's just way faster. All right, let's take a look. All right.
Give us some love. Slide, don't lift. And Erica, you and I both talked about how we save these scraps because you can use them for so many things.
That's what we cut everything out of, yeah.
Okay.
So again, here's our bow.
Ooh.
Oh, yeah. There's a little hat. Or you can go traditional and have that top hat.
There you go.
Every snowman's got to have a nose.
There we go.
Here's a button.
Yeah, look at how fun that is.
There's a mitten. We don't. Well, I didn't cut arms.
but
Okay,
that's
never
okay.
mind the mitten.
But let's show them how to make ornaments. Did you cut the
Yes,
ornaments?
I did. I cut the tops for the ornaments.
Okay.
So these are really fun, and we have a quilt sample coming up that's going to show how to do this too. But look,
Every year, I think we should make it.
so I did these out of. Have you seen the felt trees that you just put up on the wall for
Yes.
toddlers?
Yes.
So I made one for my grandson, John Robert, when he was little, and then I used the circles and this and just
Out of felt.
out of felt, and they just stick.
Look at how brilliant that is.
And so he could stick the ornaments up on the tree in all different colors. He had a lot of fun with it.
Holiday medley, or holiday accessories and circles.
It's kind of a must-have,
Okay.
I think.
But again, they're going to work with other, besides circles, right?
I told you the flamingo might have a formal affair. He might
Yes.
need that top hat.
I believe that happens more often than people give him credit.
There you
for.
go.
All right. Now let's take a look at one. Okay. Every time I see this at this time of year, I think I should make this quilt. It is called
Me
the
too.
Go Winter Bliss, and we should start making it now, Erica, for
start
next year.
now because this has got to be one of my favorite AccuQuilt patterns. Look at this.
All right. So we're going to start at the top, and then I'll lift it up.
So way up at the top, we've got, in all four corners, we've got the holly leaves and berries, and that's off the holiday medley die. And then the most clever border treatment ever, half snowflakes applique on. Is that not the cleverest thing
Now
ever?
we have 7-inch snowflakes that you could use to make
Right,
the
you
half
could
ones.
make a really big border out of
Yeah.
those snowflakes. And then the ornaments, just like we were talking about. Now they use the star and some of the circles, and there are those little tops, and then just stitched the little hangers on. And you could even hand embroider those. We've got our holly leaves. Again, oh wait, here's Santa, sleigh, and the reindeer. Use square dies for the packages. Again, this is sleigh and snowflakes.
and bows.
And
the
bow.
bow die.
The bows are down here on these packages. And then down at the bottom, do we want to fold it in half so we can see your face?
Sure.
I want to see the lovely Pam's face. So here at the bottom, we've got our big and small snowmen. Again, we've used those holiday accessories dies. Snowflakes.
Yes.
I think this is off of round flour.
Yes.
And then we've got the tree from Holiday Medley, and then just some rectangles.
I just think it's so cute. And the fabric, the
So
background
adorable.
fabric looks like blowing snow, which I love.
It is, and it's that turquoisey aqua color I'm in love with.
Right. So after Christmas, everybody should start making this one
Make that one.
because I think it's fabulous and we need to.
I do too. I do too. Gives me all kinds of ideas in my little quilting head. All right, let's celebrate the creativity of that quilt and give away another $100 in AccuQuilt reward points. So another registered viewer can add some more goodies to their collection.
I think it's a great idea. And today, our $100 gift cards are going out of the country.
Oh.
The next lucky winner of $100 in AccuQuote reward points is, jingle bells, please, Janet H. from Trods Lane, Guilford, United Kingdom.
Congratulations. Oh, that's fabulous.
I think it's so fun.
Get a snowflake die. All right, we touched on embroidery earlier, but we have some brand new ones we couldn't resist sharing with you today. Starting with, okay, my all-time favorite.
It truly
And
is.
thank you to V-Stitch. This is the Go Quilting Gnome, and this is my special version because they personalized it and put my name on it. Now, don't worry. When you download it from the website and purchase it, it's going to say Quilt, not Erica.
Yeah. It's like Pam's pickup, but it's ours. And look, Erica, what are those?
Pins.
Pins, because Erica loves pins.
It's pins because I'm the pinner because I came from garment sewing and garment sewers use pins.
But you can download our quilting gnome, which everybody should have,
Yes, and she even gave her a purple hat just for me.
just for Erica. All right, so next we have the Go Penguin dies, so let's take a look at some of those.
Oh, yes.
So this one is super cute. This is the Let's Skate Penguin by
Yes.
V-Stitch, carrying the little jingle bell and the snowflakes.
I love these little snowflakes. They're absolutely precious.
And this is stitched.
And that little tiny heart, too.
Yeah. All right, and then
We've got the Go Christmas Penguin embroideries. And this is one of our specialty designs. This little penguin's got some hot cocoa, which, trust me, even penguins are going to need hot cocoa by the end of this week.
So cold here in Nebraska.
Yes.
The penguins at the zoo, they were showing pictures of the polar bears and stuff, loving it.
Well, they're going to love it.
Yep, but this is the Jingle Bells one. This is brand new.
Yes, and this is another one of our specialty designs. And this stitches on the candy cane, but here's the scarf. That's from the Holiday Medley again.
Yeah, and this is from the gnome hat.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, look at how cute that is.
That's fabulous.
And these are, again, are available on our website.
That's right. Okay, this is mine. I'm taking this
She
one
has to
home
take it
because
home.
It's my
She's
special
Gonna
one.
be Lynn. Take stuff home.
It's mine already. It was a
yours
gift.
already. This is true.
Thank you very much. All right, now as much as I love embroidery, and we could talk about it all day because we have so many adorable designs, it's time to hear from our next go-getter, Stephanie, for another fun last-minute project. Stephanie learned how to sew from her mom on a now vintage Kenmore zigzag sewing machine. She's been a member of the Omaha Modern Quilt Guild since its 2012 beginning, is currently an Island Batik ambassador, has been a member of Do Good Stitches since 2012. She long arms for Quilts of Valor Omaha chapter, leads a local 4-H Happy Hands Quilters, and was a 2019 collaborating artist for Girl Scouts Art Venture.
She's amazing. Stephanie opened her studios, Happy Little Stitches, in March 2019 for others to socialize, share, learn, and teach. Stephanie is our good friend. She lives here in Omaha, Nebraska, with her husband Craig and son Logan. And Stephanie, what exciting holiday projects do you have for us today?
Hi everybody, I'm Stephanie Jacobson of Steph Jacobson Designs, and today I'm here with AccuQuilt and their last minute gift campaign. And I'm going to show you or tell you how to make this really cute and cozy patchwork scarf. So the dies I used for this scarf were the 6.5-inch square die, which is what I used to cut the cotton fabrics for the front, and then the 6.5-inch strip die, which is what I used to cut the minky for the back, and then also the flannel that goes inside that uses a stabilizer for the cotton fabric. So what you need is 9 pieces of fabric, at least 6.5 inches square. I used 9 different colors. You could use whatever you have. This is great for scraps as long as they're big enough to cut a 6.5-inch square. I had these pretty Moda speckled fabrics from a fat quarter bundle. So I just picked 9 fun colors and used those to cut my squares. So you'll cut 9 squares with the square die. You'll need a strip, a 6.5-inch times the width of fabric strip of your backing, which you can use minky. I tend to scour the remnant bins at my local fabric store because this is a way more economical way of buying minky, and since you just need a 6.5-inch strip, these are perfect. And I also found this this really soft black velvet that I haven't tried yet, but any type of just kind of soft, cozy fabric will work for the back. These fabrics are usually whiter than regular cotton quilting fabric. I think these minky are 58 inches with the fabric, so these are perfect for a scarf and you don't have to piece the back. You'll also need some flannel, which I also get these from the remnant bin. It doesn't really matter what color it is as long as it's not too dark. You just don't want these to show through on the cotton fabric that you choose. So just a 6.5-inch, you'll need 2 6.5-inch strips of these because you'll have to piece them together. Most flannel is only about 40 to 44 inches with the fabric. So you'll need to piece 2 of those to make it the same length as the backing. I'm not a big proponent of pre-washing fabric. I just don't do it, but you will want to pre-wash your flannel because this will shrink. So definitely pre-wash your flannel before you make your scarf. So after you cut your 6.5-inch squares, you're going to just piece them onto the flannel. And I actually have better instructions on my Instagram, which is at Steph Jacobson Designs. I've also got a step-by-step tutorial with pictures on my blog, which is stephjacobsondesigns.com. And both of those, Jacobson is S-O-N. So if you go there, you can actually find the instructions, free tutorial. So, but basically, you're just making a strip of your patchwork squares onto the flannel as the stabilizer, sewing that pieced strip right sides together with the minky. You want to leave an opening somewhere along here so you can turn it inside out and then just top stitch it. These are perfect. I live in Nebraska. It gets really cold in December, and then somehow it gets even colder in January and February. So I've already been wearing my scarf. To me, it's kind of the perfect length to just throw it on under your coat, and it's just a nice, fun splash of color in the winter. So if you make one of these scarves, I'd love it if you tag me on Instagram so I can check out your work. It's at Steph Jacobson Designs on Instagram, and happy sewing.
Oh, Stephanie.
That was fabulous.
I think that's so great. And you could sew it together and like have a snood.
Yes, yes, you
If
could.
you didn't
And I
want a scarf.
always seem to have scraps of cuddle off the edges of my quilts.
Yes.
So you can see more of Stephanie's projects to check out her website, stephjacobsondesigns.com.
And
So here are the dies that she used.
right, so this is the 6-inch, 6.5-inch, 6-inch finished square,
Yes,
and that's what she used for her scraps.
right,
And then here is the 6.5-inch, 6-inch finished strip die.
Right, right.
That's going to cut that backing so you could use flannel or whatever you would like to
Right.
do. We have 18 sizes of strip dies.
and this is the biggest.
Yes, and we have lots of videos on how to use them and to cut pieces and things with them.
Yeah.
So what a great idea to use up
It
your
is
scraps.
fabulous.
and-
It is fabulous. And we are going to need so many of those scarves by later in this week when it's, I don't know
many.
how far below.
I don't know, 20
Very.
below.
20 below, wind
Well,
chill.
Thursday, the actual only temperature is going to be like 2.
Okay, the people in Minnesota are going, wimps.
Yeah, they are. They were wimps. All right, quilters, it's time for our last go-getter, Emily. She's here to let us know what festive ideas she has. Emily started quilting in January of 2021 after making a New Year's resolution to finish one puff quilt by the end of the year,
Which is harder than you think.
which is harder than you think, except I made one and there is a die for that.
Yes.
Squares. Throughout the process, she filmed herself making the quilt and posted videos to TikTok, where she quickly grew a large following and now posts quilting videos and tutorials while managing a community of eager young quilters.
Now, Emily works as a pre-K teacher during the school year in Portland, Oregon, and has now amended her resolution to make a new quilt each month.
That's amazing.
But they're not all puff quilts.
They're not all puff quilts.
Take it away, Miss Emily.
Hey yo, I'm gonna teach you how to make the best last minute gift. We're gonna make some coasters, and you can save this video and make these coasters right before Christmas if you need to, because they're really quick and easy. To start, we need some fabric. I just have a big scrap of fabric. You could use a fat quarter or less, doesn't really matter. And then some batting scraps, and I'm using my AccuQuilt Go Me with the Hexagon die to make hexagon shaped coasters, but you could make squares or really any shape, it doesn't really matter. But first I'm going to accordion style lay my fabric over my die and run it through my AccuQuilt machine to cut out my pieces of fabric. And then I'm going to do the same thing with my batting. And let me tell you, the AccuQuilt makes cutting a hexagon so easy. I used to cut these by hand with the template, and they were never even, and the coasters always looked just a little bit wonky. Then it's time to make our sandwich. So we start with a piece of batting, a piece of fabric pretty side up, another piece of fabric pretty side together with that other fabric, and then another layer of batting. So this is our sandwich. And then we're going to sew leaving one side totally open, so that's how we flip it later on. I'm going to sew a 1/4 inch seam, and for me that means lining up with my 1/4 inch foot. Then I'm going to take my needle, put it down into my fabric when I reach the edge, turn my coaster, and then sew the next seam, and so on and so forth until we have this with one end totally open, like I said, to flip it. But before we flip it, we want to make sure we trim off the little corner edges because they kind of get in the way and make it so you don't have super pointy corners. So just trim those off. And then we're going to use that hole and flip our coaster inside out. And at this point, it's going to look really poofy and funny. Don't worry, it'll be okay. I'm going to take my puffy coasters over to my ironing board / pressing mat, and I'm going to fold down the open end about 1/4 inch, trying to match the exact dimensions of the other sides. If it's not perfect, it's okay. And then we're going to take your iron, and I like to start on that open end and then hold and press for 5 seconds. Once I'm done, I flip it over and press for 5 seconds on the other end, and then you end up with these little flat coasters. They're beautiful. Now it's time to make those fun little quilting lines you see. So I'm taking a quilting ruler and lining up with the edge of my coaster and marking a 1/2 inch line inside with a chalk pencil. And this is super sped up because it took me a little while, but I promise you'll be able to figure it out. Now I'm going to take a top stitch length, which for me is a 3.5, and I'm going to top stitch all the way around right on the edge of my coaster. So you can see here, I'm right on the edge. This is not a 1/4 inch seam. I'm truly like skirting the edge here. And it's important that when you finish this top stitch that you pull nice long string, because we'll need to use that later. So make sure your tails are nice and long. And then we're just going to repeat that same top stitch around the line that we marked, a 1/2 inch in. Okay, and then I was going to show you how to bury threads, but this actually took me forever to learn. And if this is a last minute gift that you're making, you're not going to want to learn a whole new strategy or technique. So instead, all I'm going to actually do is take The 2 threads that are on the same side of the coaster, you'll understand this if you make one. 2 threads end up on one end. I'm going to double knot them and I'm going to trim off the edges. And honestly, though it's not like totally perfect and crisp, I think it looks pretty good. Here's a little look at what those little tails look like. You can hardly tell. And it's a handmade gift, so it should look handmade, right? Anyways, save this video if you need a last minute gift, or just in case you find out later on that you need a last minute gift, because these are super quick and easy to make.
Okay, there you go again with under the table. We can't take her anywhere,
I
including
know, you just keep
studio.
getting stuff. Okay, we have a tip.
Yes.
Backstitch.
Backstitch. If you don't want to mess with tying your knots and burying them, it's a mug rug, it's small. I would backstitch and clip the threads and move on.
Yeah.
But Emily's project is so adorable. Clearly, she likes butterflies. You
She
think?
does. She does.
She does a great job of explaining it, though it is a little fast. Don't forget that our videos live on our Facebook and YouTube pages, so you can rewatch anytime. You can even slow down the speed of the video if you're having trouble keeping up with Emily's instructions or Pam's instructions or my instructions.
There we go. So this is the die she used. On our website, it talks about the sides, so it finishes 1, 1.5, and 2.
Yes.
But they're the 2, 3, 5-inch hexagons.
Right, it
basically.
depends on,
How
you
you're
know, it's
looking for
kind of
it.
like VHS and Betamax. You know, at one
Kind of.
time, there was a debate between how to measure hexagons, and then we kind of all landed with measuring the sides,
Right.
just like we ended up with VHS before we had DVDs, for
Right.
those of you children who are attending today's
Yes.
session.
There you go. So this is the big one she used.
Yes.
And here is our pro tip. Do not cut more than 2 layers of batting in one pass through the cutter.
Yes, raise your hand and promise you're not only going to cut 2 layers
Please,
of batting. through
because
there.
otherwise it's going to get stuck and the batting tears, you know, as it
And
goes
it's
through.
not going to be good.
Yeah.
Because batting is thicker.
Yeah.
So that is a very important tip. Now, Emily got me thinking about also using our large hexagon that has the 4-inch sides to make matching hot pads or, hot pads or trivets to lay on your table. They would go together the same way. And again, for those, you'll want to be sure you use the Insulbright just like you did for the oven mitts.
And you could make matching oven mitts and trivets.
Oh, all kinds of matching things.
So many fun ideas. You can see more of Emily's projects on her Instagram at M and Bear.
Yes.
There you go.
And yes, you need the dot in there.
Yes.
All right, a little earlier in the show, we ask what dyes you're using to make your last minute projects, and we're going to listen to some of your responses here.
Okay, these are fabulous.
These are. So, you want to start us off?
Yes, Allison B is making a flamingo Christmas towel.
I love that.
And we have a flamingo Christmas download embroidery file.
We do. So what are you going to do?
I am making, tonight we have a cookie exchange.
Uh-huh.
And so I'm taking my little cookies on plates, and I've used the penguin dye, and I
You
made him
almost said
look. I
flamingo.
did. I used the penguin dye and made him look very holiday-ish.
Okay, well, we've already talked about my plans with the gnome.
Yes, super
So,
cute.
And producer Joe had a last minute project
can I
too. We
show?
have to stop and show this off because we're so proud of him.
So producer Joe used our gnome dye to make this garland, and he has a great idea of just using like the edge, you know, like soda can papers, you know, that
Right,
kind of
the box,
packs,
the
the
little
box,
boxes,
or mailers.
cereal boxes, mailers.
Yep, and they glued the fabric to that. Then your gnomes are straight. They
Cute
hang better.
and straight. Yes.
Okay.
All right, so we've got some more ideas that you all have sent in. Now, Kathy is making mug rugs with the penguin holiday accessories and gnome dyes with some of the V-stitch embroidery.
That's great. I
Those
love
will
mug
make
rugs.
great mug rugs. Yes.
Madeline is doing okay, this is really clever.
This is clever.
We haven't talked about that dye in forever.
We haven't.
She is doing a year of pot holders using the owl dye.
Yes.
And each owl is dressed for the month. And I think we have a lot of like V-stitch
we
designs that you
we
could
do, but that is really
We
clever.
haven't talked about the owl in a while. The owl
No.
can wear the gnome hat.
It could use the cookie decoration dye,
It
the
could- and you
holiday
could
accessories.
Mix the owl and the penguins.
I feel like it could have a pumpkin with it in the
Oh.
fall.
There you go.
Oh, lots of good ideas.
Okay.
Robin A is making snowflake pillows. I'm
Good.
all about pillow covers. I think making different covers for pillows is such an easy way to spruce up your holiday decor really quickly.
And tons of people are using our bowl cozy dies to make holiday gifts.
Cannot go wrong with bowl cozies.
The Go Big, the smaller one, they have tons of embroidery files for it.
Yes.
And you can just chain piece for days.
Yes, do all kinds of fun things with them. Now,
All
in
right.
order to get your order in right now, just open up a new tab in your browser, type in accuquilt.com/party. It'll take you to the site. You can see the offers and place your order.
All right, it is time for Erica and I to finish getting ready for the holidays. We hope that today's merry inspiration is just what you needed to help wrap up your holiday projects.
See you next time, and happy holidays.
Thanks for watching our show. Be sure to follow us on Facebook and subscribe to our YouTube channel and look for live events every Tuesday and Wednesday.
You can visit the events page on AccuQuilt's website for more details on upcoming shows. And while you're there, check out the blog for tips, tricks, tutorials, and inspiration galore.
And remember, at AccuQuilt, we help you cut time
so you can quilt more.